morning, everybody. It's Sharon with Threshold Homestead, and I do apologize to all of you for kind of being missing in action for a little while. Just had to take a break and take care of some things that needed to be taken care of, plus finalize something that I've been working on for close to 8 months now. It's not this cup of coffee. Hopefully, I have a few things that are going to be coming up that are going to be completed. And it just seems like it has taken forever for those things to get completed so that I can start a new phase. But, life is busy, and you have to try to fill in all the things that need to be filled in and completed to the best of your ability. But everything will be complete in due season. I was reading in my Bible verses this morning, one in particular that said, He who began a good work in you will see it to completion. And it won't be in our time, but it will certainly be in His time. And some things won't ever be completed until Jesus comes back. So, at this age in my life, I have learned that we have to be patient and we have to wait on the Lord. Some areas, that's easy. Other areas, not so much. But I know that if I work hard and if I keep working, sorry I'm rocking, I don't want to make anybody sick, but I'm sitting in my swing that Kevin put up for me. This is a swing from my porch where I used to live, and I like to come out here and sit in it. I don't have that opportunity often enough, but when I do, it just calls to me, and it was calling to me this morning because I have other things I need to do before I go to work. But I decided to have, which I don't normally do, a second cup of coffee and just take some time for myself to get myself collected and reboot. I've spent some time this morning in God's Word, and I'm always inspired by God's Word. And I hope that His Word, will stick with me always. And I can use it from day to day. It's a constant reminder of how things should be. I have had this thought lately that just keeps coming back, and a lot of times the best way for me to handle something that keeps coming back to me is to talk about it and get it out in the air. And I'm going to get something out in the air this morning. And I may never post this video. I don't know. I know I look a horrible sight, but it is what it is. I've seen a lot of things on Facebook and Instagram lately where a lot of people are coming up with their own reasons to live in the sin that they're in. And if you've got to look for a reason to make your sin okay, it's not okay. If you're struggling with something that you're feeling that you've always known is wrong, but you so desire to keep doing that one thing that troubles you, you need to stop. If God is not proud of it, and if He said certain things in His Word that allow us to know He's not happy with certain things, no amount of coming up with a good reason is going to make it right. You're still going to struggle. I think about, all the way back to the Garden of Eden, when God said to Adam and Eve, do not eat of this tree. Do not. Something about that tree was a negative. Something about that tree was not going to be positive. No matter how hard, I'm sure Adam and Eve looked at it and went, but it's a beautiful tree. The fruit on that tree is going to be so good. The fruit on that tree can't be bad for me. We all know how that ended. Was the fruit bad? I'm sure it tasted great. Was the tree bad? No. No, it wasn't. But the disobedience to God was what was wrong. And in everything of our lives, in every area of our lives, anytime we're disobedient to God, it's not going to end well. It will cause struggles, astronomical struggles. One with God is not going to cause you to be confused. Being one with God is not going to cause you any sort of anxiety. When you stand with God, no amount of prosecution or judgmentalness from anyone or anything is going to cause you to stray from what you know God is teaching you. It's just not. Will the enemy try to convince you that your sin is not sin? Will the enemy try to convince you that your sin will not separate you from God? Yes. Yes, he will. The same way that he convinced Eve, the same way that Eve used that method to convince Adam that nothing about that tree could be bad. Well, that was true. Nothing about that tree could be bad, other than the part of disobedience that was played out. Be careful. If you have a testimony for God, if your life is a testimony and you're bound and determined that you're going to tell the world that Jesus is great and Jesus is the most important thing to you, be very careful, because Satan will try to take that testimony and turn it out, turn it over, remove it entirely, to the point that it becomes something else that will totally make you feel separated from God. Is Jesus great? Yes, he is. And he has done wonderful things for us. Does Jesus love us no matter what? Yes. He proved that on the cross. Is Jesus hurt when we take our relationship with him and turn it into something abominable? Yes. Yes, he is hurt. Because the price he paid on that cross should not be a shame. It should be glorious. And our interpretation of our relationship with him should be one that is always glorious. Because the good thing that he started in us and that has grown, the good work that he started in us and has grown, should bring glory to his name and not shame. God bless you all.